Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep Pulp Cthulhu campaign. I am the aforementioned Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. Before we go around and meet everyone and their characters, let's do some channel stuff. What are we going to do? First, a ton of thanks to our sponsors. Starting with Roll20. A virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We're part of their Spotlight program, which highlights indie TTRPG creators all across the interwebs. You can check out that hashtag on Twitter. It's very cool, etc. Also, thank you to our other sponsors being Dice Envy. Ooh, wait, I have both today. Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co. We have links / codes with them, so if you like dice and or coffee, which you probably do, and you want to get some for cheaper, you know where to do it. You can check out, they'll be in chat, they'll be down below. You can find lots of cool things there. Woo! What else? Ooh, thank you to everybody. Thank you, Tommy, for that stream, baby. Thank you very much. I have so many children now. The dream. We have fun sub badges and emotes and all sorts of things you can get from subbing regularly or through, I guess it's called Prime Gaming now? Yeah, that. There's also tip incentives below. All funds we raise from now through like February are going toward our podcast project. That link is there as well. We have a Ko-fi. We have hit our fundraising goal and we're just trying to get to our stretch goal. We're like 70% of the way there. It's pretty cool. So what I am saying, if you want to go tip over there instead and still get like one of the stream incentives, I'm fine with it. Just at me or Kienna in chat. Like, we'll keep track of it. But I'm going to highly encourage you go over there and do that on our Ko-fi. Yes, those things. Those were things that I have said. Now, last thing, we here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X and O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings because while the characters may be put through hell, the players are here to have fun, and they're our priority always. So, let's meet them. I guess we should talk to them. Kienna, we already know you, but who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Kienna. I'm Sweet the channel. My pronouns is she and they. But today I am playing Irene Blackwell. She is a forger, an artist, kind of the mom of the group. Almost shot a man last time. Threatened a man with a gun and then almost shot him. So, you know.
Oh, right. You almost got him.
Almost got him. He was an asshole.
Ginger Johnny.
I still want to shoot him.
Oh, hey, Seven. Thank you for that sub very much. Let's go over to Allie. Allie, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hey, everybody. It's Allison. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, who also uses she, her pronouns, and who might have rescued a damsel in distress last time. I'm just saying, might have done that. So we'll see how that goes today.
Yes. Let's head over to Summer. Summer, who are you? Who are you playing?
I don't even know what happened last time, but I'm concerned. Hi, I'm Summer. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing one Mr. Charlie Rapp who uses he, him pronouns, and he is doing fine.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's great. In a basement. Fun and normal.
Who wouldn't want to be in a basement? A fun and
Who
normal
wouldn't want to be in a basement? I wish I was in a basement right now.
Kienna, do you remember that quote number off the top of your head? The one about the basements.
The one about the basements, you know.
And
we have so many quotes.
We have many quotes now.
We have like almost 120.
Yeah.
there we go.
Nice.
Quote
I
116.
just really like that quote and I want to see it. Does everywhere in England have a creepy cult basement? Tommy, recognizing a pattern. Speaking of Tommy, hi Tommy. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hello, hi, I'm Tommy. I go by he, him, and I am playing Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III, who who I will also note rescued in an amazing display of athleticism a damsel in distress.
He's on.
This is true.
Where are all these
This is true.
damsels coming from?
After having had
This is true.
ever living wow, I cannot speak. Ever living shit beat out of him.
Oh yes.
by people who had D6s on top of all their damage.
They were big guys.
They were doing mega damage with their fists. But he also beat some goons pretty bad back. So yeah. That's where Zeb's at.
Picture it. Zeb's at 8 out of 31 hit points. He
Zeb's got,
shouldn't be standing right now. But
one of his
somehow-
arms is still kind of in a sling.
Yeah.
Like...
But no, he's running toward a moving car packed with cultists. We're going to get to this, I guess, in the recap, but I'm just going to have a moment. Packed with cultists. They've got the belly dancer from the club, and they're going to whisk her away for nefarious purposes. And using so much luck and strength, Zeb reaches out at the last second and yoinks her away. It was so dramatic. But I'm going to do the rest of the recap now as I start my fun music for this arc. We all love this music. So, last time the investigators staggered their exits from the Blue Pyramid Club. Irene continued her charade with Ginger Johnny. Zeb left on his own to meet the belly dancer Yalisha, and Ganymede and Annabelle left together, casually hooking arms and huddling together for warmth. As they all reached the square with the stone arches, Ganymede ran into, of all people, Mickey Mahoney, editor of The Scoop, on a late-night rendezvous with a man he called Ronald. Meanwhile, Yalisha told Zebulon that she knew about the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh. They are very real, and in fact are responsible for the so-called Egyptian murders. Apparently they leave from the club once a month in a truck and drive somewhere outside of London. And Zara Shafiq is involved somehow. Yalisha called her a very dangerous woman. As Yalisha finished her tale, the group was nearly ambushed by the people who had been following them around town earlier, plus 5 or 6 more people. Zeb put up quite a fight and took a few hefty hits himself, while Irene held her own against Johnny when he turned on her, and managed to alert passers-by that something was happening. Ganymede moved between the groups with her shotgun boarding axe, scaring 2 men so bad that they immediately fled, while Mickey had his eccentric way with another, picking up a bit more information about this so-called brotherhood. 2 more of these goons snuck up and tried to take Yalisha and Zeb's sister Annabelle, but Ganymede used the axe end on the one who had Annabelle, and Zebulon used a precious bit of luck to yoink Yalisha away at the last second. Yeah. So, while all that's been going on, Charlie. Hi.
Yes. Hello.
You're in. It's not actually a basement because it's on the ground
It's
level.
on the ground floor.
It's a hidden room.
Yeah.
So it's just hidden.
You all look foolish right now for thinking it was a basement.
Thinking it was a basement.
Yeah.
Yes, you are here with Zara Shafiq, owner of Empire Spices, and you wanted to talk to her. This basement. What do you need to know about this? Not a basement.
What do I need to know about it? Are you?
I don't know.
What do I need to know about it?
What do
Is
you
there
need to
like
know about it?
what's in here?
I'm
like
so
storage
glad.
stuff?
I'm like so so glad you asked
what's in here? Yeah. Is it like, are there tons of like drugs in here, or is it like
just a bunch of drugs?
so many?
One drug, exactly.
Yeah.
One drug. I think it looks like in this room, at least, there is storage for the most part. This is where alcohol is kept, anything that is needed for upstairs. Hey, thank you, Mal. 2 advantages for every member of the team. They were out.
I was out. Thank you. I really was.
Thank you, Mal. Yeah. So
okay, cool.
Pretty standard club
yeah.
basement. There's probably also like some mirrors that have gotten broken, from the ballroom that had all the mirrors around.
I remember it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Feel that this is a completely normal room, and
yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah.
This is.
Do I need to do something? Do I need to look
nope,
harder?
Zara's just down here looking at you expectantly.
Yes. Yeah. I also remember what I wanted from her. Okay, so Charlie climbs down the ladder and turns and looks at Zara, and he says, so what exactly did you do to Zeb?
I think she perches on some relatively clean looking crates. She's still in her mostly sheer netted evening wear. And she takes out a long cigarette holder because everyone should have one of those in the 20s.
Yeah.
And lights a cigarette. I suggested he should tell me all about his plans for his stay in England.
No, I know. I get that, but I mean, how? Because I've suggested plenty of things to plenty of people, and it doesn't always work out in my favor.
I suppose you could say I've done a lot of research on the malleability of the human mind.
Okay, so forgive me, I've never met anyone else that could do things. I'm not trying to say that I can do anything similar to what you can do. My abilities are quite different, but are you saying you learned them?
I mean, everyone has natural gifts, but yes, education was my route on top of what I was born with. It also can depend on the suggestibility of the subject, and your friend was...
Trust me, I know. So you can obviously persuade people quite easily to do things that they might not otherwise do. Is that all?
No, but I suppose we all have different extents. Everyone can reach different heights.
Can you show me?
Yes, but it's unlikely you will remember if it were successful. You are not as moldable.
Oh, so there's no way you can show me and also me remember any part of the experience. Is that just part of it?
I mean, we could always try it on your friend again.
Charlie seriously considers this.
Yeah, she does. I'm laughing. She doesn't laugh. It's like a totally legit suggestion from her.
Yeah.
Smokes.
And now I have to seriously consider it. Do I want to put Seb through that again? Kind of do, actually. Charlie says, I don't know that he would really forgive me for that.
No, that does rather seem like, if he remembered, of course, that it would be the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh, that's disappointing. So, well, why'd you decide to help us the other day?
I think this is the first time she really breaks eye contact. It's not very long. She just, reaches down to wipe some ash off of the crate.
Mm-hmm.
Just, scooches it off of the edge. Gavigan. He's... Well, to put it frankly, I believe he's quite insane.
Oh, really? Why is that?
She cocks an eyebrow at you just slightly. What did you find in his sub-basement?
Plenty. There was a lot to look at.
Yes, and I'm sure you did not get through all of it despite my intervention. He is... Well, I suppose if you don't know, she, uncrosses her legs and then crosses them the other way. He's a madman and a murderer.
Charlie kind of leans back against the wall because he obviously found vials of blood and passports and a bunch of weird shit, but nothing that outright suggested that he was a murderer, right?
Right.
So Charlie takes a second and then just kind of says, what else do you know about him? Because he seemed to try and keep that basement pretty good in secret.
She's picking up on your confusion, and then she says, Did Miss Graves not... And then she stops. Huh. I believe he is the person, or at least the orchestrator, behind those so-called Egyptian murders.
Is that just a feeling? Or is there evidence to back that up?
As you could see from our interaction, I've known the man for several years now. I've consulted for the Penn Foundation since 1918 or so. And I'm sure you get feelings all the time that are more than just feelings, Mr. Rapp.
He smirks. So if you suspect him to be behind these murders, why haven't you gone to law enforcement? You don't think they could back you up?
Things are a bit different here. Hey, thank you for the raid, TPK roleplay. We're playing some Call of Cthulhu, and we're talking to not a dangerous person at all. There's no subtext here. Don't even worry about it. Subtext.
I love her. I'd do anything for her.
Things are a bit different here in England than they are in Egypt. No one would believe you if you try to go through the proper authorities. He is not necessarily titled, but he is upper crust.
He does have a basement that is filled with money and passports and vials of blood. I mean, that hardly seems like nothing.
Yes, how would you get the police there?
Take them in the way that I went.
How would you enter the building without his permission?
You know, I have a pretty good friend that is excellent at breaking into locations.
With the police? You would break into a location with the police?
Well, we've done it before, but I see the issue. But if they have reason to believe that he's a serial killer, then can't they get a warrant to search the building or the premises? I don't believe that there's nothing that we can do.
Yes, you are very American.
Well, I was actually planning on going back.
That is a choice. Might I recommend it to be a time when he is not present?
That was the idea.
I'm sure it was. I think what you will find, if anything, is that he has likely kept his hands clean over these last 3 years. I think it will be difficult to, what do you say, pin anything on him. But perhaps you and your friends are certainly resourceful. But you may find that what is actually required is something that the police certainly would not approve of.
I think at this point, Charlie he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a cigarette and just is kind of thinking over everything that she's said, because he still really wants to go back, and he does think it's worthwhile looking into the fact that Gavigan could be the one orchestrating these murders, but also so what about you?
What about me?
What is your interest in all this, in us? What do you want?
I think not only would all of you be better off if Edward Gavigan were no longer capable of doing what he's been doing, but I think it's likely that I would be able to oversee the Foundation from now on, lessen the footstep of the English in Egypt. I think he's very dangerous, Charles. I think more people are going to die.
I'll trust your assessment on it, because I don't know the man all that well. So you want to run the Foundation?
Why not? I'm very knowledgeable about the subject area.
That's true. But you think that they would appoint you?
I'm very persuasive.
Yeah, he smiles and nods. Okay.
So, because I, Lauren, your GM, am kinda magnanimous, would you like to make like a psychology check?
Sure, yeah. You're great.
Thanks.
Okay. I will make a psychology check. And I will use an advantage. Thanks, Mal. For the advantage. Because I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Here I go.
Whee!
A success. Wow, a success.
Wow.
Wow, she did
Wow.
it. She
Yeah.
really did it. Okay. Yes, I did it.
Yeah.
Tell me. What's up?
Yes, with your regular success.
Yes, very regular.
Yep. Sounds good. I'm so sorry. Sounds great.
Sounds good. Love her. She's so, yeah.
I mean, obviously, you are dealing with someone who, like, traffics in, saying what she needs to say to get what she wants.
Yeah.
But
yes.
that is a super legit reason. She seems to have feeling behind what she says.
I saw the basement.
Yeah, checks out.
I saw it. I know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy as fuck. I clearly don't know about Ganymede's dream, Ganymede, but yeah. Okay. Charlie kind of looks at her, nods.
Uh-huh.
So if you could see this shakedown in your favor, What would you suggest that we do? Because all I have right now is the way into a weird fucking basement.
I would suggest, perhaps following the man, looking into the places that he frequents or does business with, and I would hypothesize that by the time you have observed him in his full glory, you will know what needs to be done. Ah, we lost Kienna.
Hi,
Hi, Kienna.
welcome back.
At this point, she stands up. There's a little, like, sharp intake of breath. And she kind of, like, falls into you and, like, squeezes your shoulder. Your friends are in danger.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
No, mortal danger. They're in the square with the archers. Go.
Okay. He looks at her kind of like confused, like how did she know? But he's like, damn, I really want to know. But I'm worried about my brains though too. So he'll just give her like a nod and make sure that she's like okay, like standing up and was like fine, and then he'll scurry on up the ladder.
Yeah, she watches you go. And
It's a good view
yes,
from below.
Of course. And we are all reunited in the square. I think, I know you like pulled her to you. I think you fell on the ground too, Zeb. And she's on top of you.
Is
Of
that what I
course.
come up on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, mortal fucking danger, and this is what I see. I'm mad.
And Ganymede and Annabelle are like holding each other.
Where's Irene?
had her gun out. It's smoking.
Yeah, Irene has her gun out, it's smoking. She's just probably angrily shoving it back into a bag.
You see a man that maybe is wearing a kimono is like run off into the night. Like distantly.
Oh my god.
Just another night for this crew.
Yep.
Yeah, super normal.
Yeah, I think Charlie like literally busted his ass to get over here like quickly.
Yeah.
And then this is what he sees.
I mean, Zeb's also like bleeding from like the nose. Like Zeb's definitely got some big red like welts showing
big
up. Like,
red.
And you hear you hear like the hand crank sirens approaching. So, hey friends, are we sticking around? What are we doing?
No! Charlie just showed up. He's not getting arrested for this. Yeah, Charlie's gonna quickly get, like, he's gonna help up, like, make sure that Irene, Annabelle, Ganymede are all good. Then we'll go to Zeb last.
Zeb's checking to make sure Alicia's okay.
Yeah, Charlie will help them both up and be like, we need to go.
Right.
What the fuck is going on?
Zeb just kind of spits spits some blood out to the side. Maybe we talk about that later. We were jumped.
Great.
By a bunch
Okay,
of
let's go.
folks. Some of them who are definitely going to need to see a hospital. Yeah, so let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Going.
Alicia, you should perhaps stick with us for the moment.
Okay.
Sure.
Come along,
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah, she, I think as you, like, pick her up, she is attached to you, Zeb. Ain't letting go.
Okay, I guess I'm carrying.
Well, you don't need to carry her. She just is hooked to you.
Oh, okay.
He's leeched on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Zeb will
running off
hobble out
into
of-
the night.
Zeb
We're
doesn't
falling
run.
off.
Zeb hobbles off. Zeb's like hobbling
Yeah,
off
we'll
into
head
the
back
night.
to the hotel, I think.
Yeah.
In a very roundabout way.
Yeah. We go.
Maybe
we
open
go
the
in
back door for Zeb.
Yeah, we go in the back for the hotel.
Yes.
Yeah,
Excellent.
emergency exits, you know.
stairwell, you know.
Yeah, just be like, we'll let the injured one in through the back.
Yes.
Don't just get any questions.
Yeah.
And you can head up to your suite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think as soon as we get in here, can I like help Zeb somehow? Can I like make sure that
Someone can do a first aid test on him.
I will try to.
Yeah.
I'd love to try.
Great.
I'm fine.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about me.
I'd love to.
I've taken,
Look at me. I'm just barely doing it today. I'm just barely here.
Hey, that's all you have to be able to do.
I mean, unless you have to be extremely here in some cases.
No, not for this.
Roll a d4 and you can have that back, Zeb.
Hey.
Do it. You got it. I'm gonna leave
Was
that
anyone
to you.
else? Was anyone else wounded or
No,
injured?
I feel
No.
great. I'm at full health.
No, they weren't gaming, just Zeb.
Just
Yeah.
It's always
Zeb was
just
thinking
Zeb.
What do
like
you do? Do you
4 guys,
splash
so
some
like-
alcohol on his cuts?
Yeah, I splashed some alcohol on his cuts and some into his mouth, and then there's like a first aid kit somewhere in here. I'll just like
Yeah, sure.
put band-aids on them,
20
like
is the
little
first aid
gauze
kit,
and
yeah.
some tape, you know?
just gonna put band-aids.
Suck it
Some of
up.
like the really nice towels.
Yeah.
Like this-
Soak up the blood with these white,
Zeb's
pristine
just like,
towels.
no, these towels look real expensive.
No. I'll just tell him I'm prone to nosebleeds. It's not a big deal.
And yes, you are now at 10 of 31 hit points.
Yay!
Yay! And you are all together again in the suite. Annabelle is, I'm gonna say she takes Yalisha into into probably
bathroom or something?
into the bathroom, and is like cleaning her up and just chatting and trying to like help her because she's probably a bit in shock.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
where they are. You
Yeah.
are alone together.
Yeah, Charlie
So,
is
how'd
splashing
your,
alcohol on the cuts.
How'd your oh god, ow, okay, that more of that got in my eye than anything else. But how'd your conversation with Zara go?
You know, it didn't end in bloodshed.
Well, that's good. Do you remember everything that happened to you in the last 30 minutes or so?
Yes, I do.
Are you sure? Are you
I'm
not?
positive.
I'm pretty sure that's what you'd say if you
No,
were brainwashed.
Zeb, I'm positive.
That is what
remember
Zeb
everything.
said, after all.
That is exactly what I said. In fact, I would be
No,
the-
Zeb, you did not say you remembered everything. You said you were drinking heavily and that there were some fuzzy spots in your memory. But no,
Exactly,
I remember everything that I remember everything that happened. We had a pretty interesting conversation. She believes that Gavigan is the Egyptian murderer, or at least is orchestrating the murders.
You know, after what you told us about his basement,
The basement, it
not
checks out.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I agreed with that. But it's hard to know. I mean, she was making some great points about him and the fact that she thinks that our business would be conducted much easier here if he were not around anymore. But I don't know. It's hard to read her.
Charles, did she offer any evidence of this fact?
No, almost none. She said that it was a feeling, and I trust that her feelings are probably pretty often correct. And I mean, given what I saw in the basement, I mean, it doesn't seem impossible.
That's so strange.
She actually mentioned you, Ganny. She said that you hadn't, oh, she didn't say that you hadn't told me something, but it kind of came off that way.
I don't know of anything I've kept from. Well, there was the. No. No, had a dream. A very strange one. It was an Egyptian scene, some kind of sacrificial altar. And he was there, Gavigan. He was... he was sacrificing them or leading them or something. I don't entirely recall. Awful business, so vivid. Smashing them in the heads with some kind of a hammer, spiked hammer, something that was awful, but it was just a dream.
And so were the dreams about Elias's room. They're just dreams. But I don't think that we can ignore dreams. Even if they turn out to be nothing, I think we should know better by now than to shrug them off as just imagination.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
But if that's it, it's interesting that Zara would know that. If that is what she was referencing. And also strangely, we were talking and she suddenly told me that all of you were in mortal danger. Exactly where I found you, she knew somehow. She does have a interesting gift.
She seems to be presenting herself at least as an ally. And yet given what we've just learned, and Ganymede goes quiet for a moment. It was all fun and games when Zeb was getting hypnotized, right? And she was poking at that occasionally, but now she's wondering about herself and it's kind of second guessing everything.
I mean, she did have her own motivations in the matter. She, I think, wants to run the Penhew Foundation. Which, I mean, she has ambition. But a woman like that with that much power in a position like that.
Well, unless Zara's trying to lead us away from the real culprit, I don't suppose there's any harm into looking into this.
Yeah, I did mention that I wanted to go back into that bunker. She obviously suggested we go when Gavigan isn't there.
Probably
Which means that we need to know his schedule.
Should be easy enough. I'm sure he keeps office hours, right?
Well, if he's someone who keeps going in and out and has a strange basement filled with things, I don't imagine that he keeps to his office hours.
She did mention maybe looking into the people that he does business with, seeing if we could... She said something, witness him in his full glory. She was pretty confident, seeming that we would agree that he was some kind of monster, but...
Yes, I think I'm at least as interested in what he's doing when he's not at the Foundation. as when he is.
Well, we could watch him for a while.
Certainly do that. By the way,
I mean, you could definitely deserve a rest. He says, looking at Zeb, who's just beat to shit all the time.
I'll walk it off and rub some dirt on it. Obviously. Now I can't remember if I told anyone else, but I know Charlie certainly wasn't here for this. But I learned some very interesting things actually from Yalisha about the club and about their. It seems that their manager, at least on the floor, their owner is a front for someone else, and that someone else seems to perhaps be involved in some of this cult stuff. About once a month, usually around, I think she mentioned around the new moon, usually some truck shows up and some people get in and they go out. They go north outside of London, and that might be something looking into. Although I think we just had the new moon pretty recently, so that might be a while. But
do they come back?
Well, funny enough, our company for tonight happened to be truck drivers. Specifically, my date, I suppose.
Date?
Not an actual one. Just, I was just trying to get information from the man that was following me. And anyways, he admitted that he worked as a truck driver. I'm thinking that we could look into this particular company, see exactly who they go to, where they go to, who they work for, if we're going to be watching for things anyways. I think even if the new moon is a while away, I think it might be interesting to keep an eye, see their preparation before they do their business with the Blue Pyramid.
Yes, I quite agree. I wonder as well, would any of you have any objection to my speaking with my friend, the inspector again? I suspect at some point we might need to involve the police in all of this, and I think he's more likely to trust scanty evidence at this point than most of his colleagues.
I did mention potentially involving the police to Zara. She didn't seem too keen on it. She didn't think that we were going to be able to pin anything on Gavigan, that more likely than not, if he was responsible for these murders, he probably didn't do the deed himself. I mean, there is the basement, but we have to prove its existence.
Without admitting that you broke in, right?
Oh, yeah. It would help to not break into the building itself, but I think once we're in, we're in.
Right. You don't think that Gavigan and the club could be connected at all?
I don't know, but I'm sure that if we follow him around, we're bound to find out.
Well, then I am A-okay with a bit of a stakeout here.
So it's settled.
Well then, how do we want to do this?
You
Well-
have 3 weeks until the new moon. Just so
Cool.
you know, you have plenty of time. So however you would like to go about this, if you want to take it like in phases to see what you learn from a certain amount of time doing a certain thing, we can do that. Or you can tell me, I spend 2 weeks on this. Every day Zeb gets 2 hit points back. So
Awesome.
yay.
I do think that the two things that I really want to look into, obviously, are the company with the trucks, or like whoever kind of orchestrates that, and then obviously following around Edward as well. I would say that it would probably be worth following him for at least a week, right? Just to see kind of what his general routine is like. And then come around like the next week, we can see like, okay, did he go to the same places on this Monday as he did last Monday? Like, did he go to the same places on like, I think it's just worth making sure that he has like, if he does have a schedule, making sure we know what it is. Or if we know when his like free time is, where he just runs around and does whatever.
Yeah. And we can share those responsibilities so that it sort of lessens the likelihood that any single one of us will get noticed
Yeah.
constantly in the background.
Yeah, we're not all in Charlie's rental car, like staking out every building that he's in. Like all 4 of us, like hello, like
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
go
we should
one at a
definitely-
time,
yeah,
have
we definitely
coffee or
rotate.
beer. we'll rotate.
Zeb teaches you all the tips of a good stakeout, as he's had
Thanks,
to probably
Zeb.
do it before for.
Yeah.
An article.
I love it.
Well, he was probably the intern that got sent to go do
Yeah.
stakeout.
Oh my god, yeah, I love that. That's so great.
Yeah.
How to spot relevant information versus like useless information, parsing down our notes, that kind of thing. That's great.
Yeah. How to stay awake for not moving for 6 hours at a time. Yeah.
So, yeah, tailing Gav again.
That's probably first thing first. But I would imagine that we could do, if we do have like
Yeah.
2 people tailing Gav again,
Yep.
that we could also look into the truck stuff
Absolutely.
too.
I think Zeb's willing to go look into the truck stuff with if someone else would like to go. I mean, he's fine to go alone. I just didn't know. if someone else wanted to go.
Irene wants to figure out the truck stuff.
Great.
Mhm.
Good.
The
During
other
this
thing I think
time-
that would be.
Oh,
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead. Sorry.
No, Alicia is just gonna stay with Annabelle in her flat.
I love it.
Probably a good idea. Zeb's, confident she'll be semi-safe with as safe as his sister's gonna be. So,
Sure. Ganymede, what were you saying?
I think it would also be interesting to stake out the foundation itself.
Sure.
If we do decide that we're going to break in, it would be good to know what the patterns are, if there are
Right.
guards, how many, where, etc.
Yes.
And when there are free moments, I think Ganymede's looking for opportunities to spend time with Annabelle, and just being in London, it's been years since she's been back here, so just enjoying being back and the company of Annabelle Claiborne Montgomery.
Right. So, this first week.
oh, wait.
The 2 of you who are following around Gav again, I want you to make stealth checks, or I can make spot hidden. It's up to you. You will get advantage on the stealth checks because of Zeb's experience in the field. So-
Yeah,
Hey.
Nice.
I'll
That's
go for it.
Never have Lauren roll. She rolls too well.
Yeah.
She's blessed.
Also, this is gonna be great, and I'm so excited to roll it because I'm so good at stealth.
Yeah, I believe you.
No, she
you
is.
said from both of us, right?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
You get advantage though. Oh, thank God.
Nice.
Wow! Oh, Jesus.
But
Wow.
sometimes I'm extremely here.
Extremely here.
Extreme.
Sometimes I'm just
that's-
barely here.
That's fantastic and will make a big difference. Yay! Okay. This is exciting. This is
Me and
exciting.
Ganny just sticking in the shadows, like hiding behind cars, taking notes. Great.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so the next evening, you are able to watch Gavigan go from the Penhew Foundation to Empire Spices in Soho. To Zara Shafiq's place of business.
Do they like talk?
Yeah,
That
it
we
looks
can
like they
see?
talk. I mean, obviously you're probably watching it from outside, so they like go back into the office, but he's obviously there to talk with her. He is an Englishman of habit. The foundation is only a short stroll away from the shop. So that is what he does. He then heads to his flat, which is in Mayfair on Grosvenor Street. Grosvenor Street. It's close to Hyde Park. What you can see from the street and such, it looks pretty typical.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a row of terraced buildings, all residential, all occupied, no abandoned building next door this time. Yeah, and what else does he do that first week? I think he gets in his car. Oh, this is the first week? The first week. The first week. He gets in his, me looking at my calendar, he gets into his car and I'm assuming you tail him. He drives somewhere outside of London. So, I mean, depending if you're following him outside of London.
Yes. In fact, I will.
Okay.
I think I shall.
Okay, this... Following him outside of London is going to necessitate another roll.
But look at my extreme.
No, I saw it. It was really good.
Okay. Do we get advantage on this one too?
No, I don't think so.
I'm in a rental car, Lauren.
Yeah, and you're following
use an
him
advantage.
on lonely English countryside lanes.
Okay, fine. I'll use an advantage then. Allie, you go first. You go first. I'm too scared.
Okay.
My 6 saves.
Okay.
Should I push it?
Yeah. Yes. Do it. Go for it. Go for
Really?
it. Yeah. What's
Or
the
wait,
con?
can
I mean,
I?
what's the worst that could happen?
You can push it. Just give me a second.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You are, of course, welcome to push it. If not, it's I'm not really. Well, we're just seeing how far you go before it becomes impossible to follow him without being noticed.
I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna
Okay.
push it. Come on. Oh,
No.
That's
oh, that's bad.
okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
So yes.
It's only
failing-
35 luck.
Failing a pushed roll. So, you follow him outside of London. It's only slightly north. I misspoke before. It's like east mostly, like northeast slightly. You get you drive a few hours, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Just London. Like, it's probably even shorter than that, actually. It's pretty easy to get there. It should only... So you drive maybe 30 minutes, let's say, outside of London before you pick up on the fact that he knows he's being followed, and he basically turns around. Does anybody have drive?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I'd like you to make a drive test.
Okay. Dice gods be with me. Anybody want to throw an advantage my way? 'Cause I'll use
You're
it.
out.
Wait, let me see if I am out.
I think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So as he does a pretty abrupt U-turn, so much so that it's not that he runs into you or anything, but he passes pretty close by, and Ganymede, even though the windows are up and all of that, you swore he made eye contact with you.
Yeah.
Someone give me an advantage. But we're wearing hats, Lauren. We're wearing hats.
Right. Yes, the ultimate Cthulhu disguise, hats. So that's the first week for you two.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the first week, I think. Irene and Zeb. Sup?
No, I think Zeb asked Irene, now, do you think I could convince him that I'm looking for a job? Maybe get inside a little bit. Pay for some medical bills.
Well, hopefully we don't see... Well, first it predicates that we don't see one of them right there immediately. Because that would blow that cover very quickly. Second of all, how good is your British accent?
Oh, well, I don't have to be a British person. I could be an expat, having been left over here after the war. I have thought about this cover story.
You've thought about that? I'm surprised. Okay.
I've thought about the cover story. I was sort of marooned here after the war, and
I think Irene just kind of like tilts her head. Just kind of like, huh. All right.
my name is Gerald Fitzpatrick.
Well, we should probably get you into a little more of an appropriate outfit for
Yeah, I was thinking that
truck
as well.
driver. But I guess might as well take a crack at it.
Especially if they're looking for someone that can handle themselves. Well, I think I look the part right now.
Looks at like all like the still like bruising, the still fading and everything. Kind of like, yeah.
All I gotta say is you should see the other guy.
That is true. Let's go get you some more clothes. we're gonna get Zeb into some typical.
He's like a flat cap, right?
Yeah. Blue collar as hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeb's got a whole backstory. But don't worry, if we see the people there, if we see people who will identify as Zeb's not gonna go in.
Yeah, so you are looking for what exactly?
Irene's mostly just looking into, who, like, is it the entire company, or is it just these people who are taking advantage of the fact that they have access to the trucks, and all of that branch information, which would include like, where did these trucks go, who do they do business with, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Okay.
And Zeb's trying to get on the inside, see if he can become just one of the guys.
Yeah. Make a disguise check.
Oh, son of a nutcracker.
So now we don't have any fucking points then.
I have no points in that, and yet I have 75 points in drive auto. I don't know why.
One day you'll be able to
One day,
drive.
I mean, if I can get on the inside, I will be able to drive a truck. It's just getting. It's just
Do you have
getting
any advantages left?
I do have advantages, but my disguise is a 5, so I don't
Oh.
know.
My disguise is a 10 somehow? Question mark.
Great. Those
Don't
are
know
both
what
Is there like an
Such
aid
good
roll in
numbers.
this? Can this be an intelligence?
Nope.
check?
Nope.
Do I
It is.
use an advantage here just to see if I can get it close, and then I can burn some luck?
I don't know, friendo.
Oh man.
Well, I gave them advantage on their stealth check, so you can have advantage on this disguise check.
Hey, you are a
I'm
generous
helping
and
you.
benevolent
Thank
GM.
you. Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah. Here we go.
Alright. Oh, let me click it.
Click it.
Oh my god, that's
Oh.
so close! I am burning 8 luck! I am burning 8 luck! I want this to work!
Okay. Luck is a free resource, everybody.
Your luck is a free resource that I'm rapidly burning through, but it's fine.
So please tell me. Please.
Hold on.
Yes, go into, I want details now of the disguise all over again. I want to know everything about it.
Hold on, I'm having a hard time doing math. That's 45 luck left, yep. So I think Zeb's definitely like, I think, we don't, we do obviously his nose has been obviously hurt recently, so we just do kind of the thing across the nose that you kind of do when like your nose is healing but you're still kind of badass. So
Yeah.
We make him look a little rough around the edges. We find probably a secondhand store and find some stuff that's a little bit more thread worn. I don't know if Irene has any recommendations here.
I mean, she has art supplies, so she's probably actually dirtying stuff up with some of her charcoal.
Yeah.
And chalk and stuff like that, like making it really seem like lived in. My brain went dirty boy, and that was not the right thing to say.
He's a dirty boy.
But yeah, muss him up a little bit. Just make it, like as if he lived this life, but a little still like I'm seeking a job, so I'm not gonna look terrible. Is that fine line?
Maybe we do a little bit of makeup just to make his face look slightly different.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I'm sorry, I want this to work so much. I'm just gonna burn that 8 luck.
It works.
I'm gonna burn that 8 luck.
It works. So, yes, you have infiltrated this truck company. Obviously being the same one that you've seen around back at the Penhue Foundation. Irene, I assume you're keeping a pretty big distance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping a very big distance. I think I'm gonna be here. I'll have a view at the corner there, but I'm not gonna get close unless you absolutely need me to.
Okay. Good. Great.
And I can drive a truck because I have 75.
You are so good at driving. It's incredible.
I don't know why I have 75 in drive auto.
Who could believe it? Who could believe it? All right. So the truck. The most notable place over this week that you go to is the Limehouse Docks. It's in London. It's a very grim and dirty part of London. It's got an unsavory reputation. Gambling, derelicts, opium addicts, lots of crime, cheap housing, and there are all sorts of different communities within it. But I think the feeling that is so different is as soon as you get into Limehouse, like, people keep to themselves for the most part. A lot of folks will kind of turn a blind eye to criminal or violent behavior because they don't trust the police. Because you are disguised, you do not stick out like a sore thumb in Limehouse. I think let's see how much you pick up. Give me some kind of social skill. I'd also take appearance, like charm, fast talk, persuade, something like that, anything.
It's gonna be a persuade, because that's my best thing, and I'm gonna use an advantage for this.
Okay.
Wow,
Nice.
hard success.
Getting it.
Nice,
Getting it.
getting
Okay.
it.
So, what you pick up over the course of this week is that many trucks come and go all the time, unloading and loading onto ships in the docks. Your truck, your company's truck, Ferris & Sons, has been through here lots. It's not just your individual one, but multiple. It would stop and unload some big crates at a warehouse at Rope Makers Fields, which is very nearby.
You said rope makers?
Yeah, Rope
Okay.
Makers. You pick up something about a man named Mr. Chowdhury, Puneet Chowdhury. He is a warehouse. He imports and exports things all around the world. And sometimes he keeps weird hours. Like, people will hear them moving goods in the dead of night. And his workers tend to be, like, noticeably, like, bigger, tougher, kind of scarier looking than...
Zeb tries to look bigger and scarier.
Yeah. But that is what you pick up on the first week. Obviously, you can see the warehouse, and you see over this week a large ship called the Sea Devil in the docks at Limehouse.
I feel like we divided these groups the wrong way.
It's only the first week.
Only
This
Zeb could
only-
have blended in with the truckers.
Yeah. This only escalates or becomes an encounter when you decide to make it one. Unless, of course, you get spotted. But that's week 1.
All right. I mean, Zeb will relay the fact about the Sea Devil, because he'll remember that from the photo we have from...
Yeah, you have a photo and a mention of it from
mention.
papers that Charlie
Yeah.
found in the basement of the Penhew Foundation.
Yes,
Yep.
Zeb's going to mention that.
Irene, what have you been doing during this time?
I've been out a lot, and I assume
Just
a
been
lot
out a
during the
lot.
day and like in the evening too, depending on what the shifts are.
Mhm.
So I think I've each spent a couple days like lurking around like the headquarters and just kind of watching who comes in, who goes out. Obviously keeping an eye out for anyone that she recognizes.
Yes.
And she's keeping her distance, but she's watching.
Yeah. So with the Penhew Foundation, there's nothing really untoward that occurs. There are various foundation employees, including Gavigan, come and go, conduct their usual routines. Sometimes you'll see like academics, scholarly types come in to view something. I think you do see a few people after work one evening head toward the Blue Pyramid Club.
Okay. Just building the connection between everything even
Mhm.
further now. Cool.
Yeah. So, what do we do for week 2? Do we do anything? Are we like taking time to do something in particular?
We're like, well, we're probably like obviously talking about everything that we exchanged, like everything that we picked up, and then would recalibrate where we need to go, like
Yeah.
who needs to be doing what. Because like, would Ganymede want to go try and see the Sea Devil?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that something I can't, forgive me, I can't recall. Have I told the rest of you about that?
I don't know. We saw it as viewers.
Yeah.
In your
Yeah.
dream, but I don't know that either of you really went into details. I think Charlie did a bit more than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, then I certainly would if you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Charlie would mention obviously like how they tried to follow him out of town, but they got spotted, right? Like, and that Gavigan turned around and like it might be worth trying to see where he's going again. I think Charlie would probably do some mild research about what is out that way, like the way that he was heading.
Library use.
Yeah, I would love to.
Are we taking like a whole nother chunk of time?
I would probably take at least half a week, I would say at least.
Yeah.
To like do some research or like follow up on the stuff that we have.
Yeah.
It's like get information, tackle that information. Get more information, tackle that information. Like putting if that's good with everyone else. Because if y'all want to like go out while like Charlie sits and does like research, like that's fine too, right? We can do multiple
Zeb
things.
needs to continue his.
Zeb's trying to see
true.
if he can work his way into that inner circle of truck drivers.
The secret circle of truck drivers.
Of cultist truck drivers.
Could I please have an advantage? Someone, I'm gonna do my library use roll now.
Okay.
And
You should really get Zeb in on that library.
Shut up.
I've got a 16 in that.
Oh.
What's up,
I know they're
Ganymede?
terrible, actually.
I think Ganymede would go to the docks and case it out.
Okay.
It's not impossible that her nemesis, the captain, is dead or has been replaced. If there's a connection, I want to know what it is.
Yeah. Charlie, so that's not going to be a failure. It's just going to take you a full week.
That's fine.
Okay.
Please give me advantages. I suck otherwise.
Yes. Okay, so the ship, the Sea Devil. Tell us a little bit about the Sea Devil, Ganymede.
Yes. Well, Ganymede encountered the Sea Devil's a pirate ship that Ganymede and living on her grandfather's ship encountered as a child. At 13, when she was 13, they were attacked and boarded, and almost taken over. But Ganymede hid and found her grandfather's shotgun, and as we saw in that flashback scene that you referenced earlier, she took a shaky shot at the captain and basically shot off his leg with the shotgun at close range, and managed to save the ship. In those days, at least, it tended to stick mostly in the South China Sea and Indian Ocean, which is part of why I'd be very interested here if it's operating outside of its typical waters.
Yeah. Stealth roll?
stealthy stealth
Yeah,
roll.
same.
Yes.
Same rules as before, I'm going to say, even though obviously you would be more recognizable, but it's been years.
Yeah, it has been.
What's the captain's name again?
I'm so glad that you asked me that because I was just pulling it up.
Great, good, 'cause I can never remember. I'm gonna tattoo it on my hand.
Yeah, it was awesome that I gave him a Dutch name that I can't really pronounce.
Yeah, that was great.
Steen van der Straat.
That's just what I'm writing. Ignore Steen van der Straat. Great.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to use an advantage on this stealth roll, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's only 66 luck.
Hey!
There, we'll take the hard success.
Huzzah! Huzzah! Whoa. So, that was fortunate for you. So the crew is currently, there are lots of folks, people from Norway, Africa, China. I think you are able to find out that, I mean, it still has a Chinese registry and its home port is in Shanghai, which is also its next destination, by the way. You are around and finding out things.
Lovely.
I believe the date of departure is right around the new moon. Crazy. What? Why? The Captain Steen van der Straat, there's a nearby public house for drinks. Usually the pirates aboard are playing cards, drinking, kind of walking around, keeping watch. It definitely is not a, a transport ship for people. You see similar things when the trucks come by. They are loading things onto this ship. It happens much later than other ships in the area. Yeah, I think that's what you were able to find out. Jim gives an advantage for Summer.
Thanks, Jim. Wow, you lifesaver.
You lifesaver, you. How dare you? And you know what?
What?
Make a spot hidden check.
Ooh. A spot hidden. Let's just do that, shall we? Oh, I'm going to use an advantage. Oh my god.
Yikes. Okay, you definitely see the crates brought on, the ones ostensibly from the Penhew Foundation, if that's where they're from. They're labeled Cairo Museum, Egypt. That's what you see with your failed spot hidden.
Okay.
And that is what you are able to find without getting on in there. There are lots of crates, and they don't leave for at least another week.
Yep.
By the time you're finished.
All right, I won't do anything rash then.
Okay. Charlie, what you find at the end of the week is that the picture of the house that was on Edward Gavigan's desk.
Yeah, the one I took special interest in.
Yes, is to the east. It's in Essex, Miser House. MISR.
Dope.
Irene and Zeb, what would you like to do over the course of this week?
I mean, Zeb would ask if Irene wanted to follow up on the importer, who needs chowdery.
Mm-hmm.
If that's something Irene would want to do.
Yeah, Irene can do that.
And then Zeb's got his deep cover operation going on. He's so excited.
He's so in it.
Like, this isn't him just being an intern staking someplace out. No, he's in it. He's inside the gory guts of this story.
Mm-hmm.
He's very excited when he makes his reports.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's gonna try and, like, I think this week, like, the first week's probably just him getting in good with the company, and this next week's gonna be him, like, trying to get in with the drivers and see what's going on.
Yeah. The problem becomes with the next week of shifts that Ginger Johnny is on duty.
Oh no.
Your disguise was very good, so
Yeah. Zeb just kind of keeps his hat a little lower, his collar a little
Yeah.
higher, and just, like, avoids Ginger Johnny.
mm-hmm. Good.
Just
But
get a
also
reputation
kind of
being-
trails him. Like, tries to figure out who he's talking to.
Yeah, okay,
you
I
know?
like that. Yeah, you'll be
Yeah,
able to do
figure out
that.
who-
They definitely go to the Blue Pyramid Club,
Mm-hmm.
where you don't see Zara all the time. I think you see, over the course of these 2 weeks, I think you do see Gavigan there once.
Mm-hmm.
Though you don't keep sight of him for long.
Mm-hmm.
You see Zara there much more. Usually
Mm-hmm.
after Empire Spices closes, she heads that way. I think you definitely see heated words between Gavigan and Zara, but Zara, like, extricates herself from the situation and, like, ends up going home early that night. Irene. What are you looking for at the warehouse?
I'm looking for any transports that stick out, and specifically kind of looking into, are they coming from Africa in any way? Because those are the ones that ticked off stuff in New York when she was
Right.
investigating. Just looking for any any of them that look just seem weird. Out of
In
place.
terms of the crates?
Yeah,
Okay, I want a stealth check.
cool.
Again, I'm giving y'all advantage because you've spent the time, you know the schedules. Nice. 31, regular success. Okay. Why don't you also give me a spot hidden?
Cool.
Great. Regular success. That's all you needed. You find similar crates to what Ganymede found, except that you can see that they're over another label. Like, the labels that say Cairo Museum, Egypt are over other labels that say Hofang Import/Export. Don't know how to say it. A street in Shanghai, China. And these labels are in both English and Chinese.
Okay.
There's probably about 16 crates by the time that you check this place out.
Okay.
Obviously they are closed, though.
Right. How many people are in here?
In the so this is
In the vicinity.
probably near the ship. So there are at least 8 who are on the deck who, I mean, you had a good stealth roll, but
Yeah.
if you start breaking open crates, it's gonna be different. There are about 8 up on deck.
Okay.
The captain is at the public house, so he is not here.
So I'm not gonna break into them because that would be silly.
What are you talking about?
Would I be able to? I want to mark them more easily than having to read the label. And so like I want to use like chalk and like make a mark on each
Sure.
of them. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just like, so I'm not having to like look in and read each label to make sure that it's this one. I've marked off each one.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at the end of 2 weeks that you've spent, you got 2 hit points every day, Zeb.
I'm back to full health.
Woo!
But he keeps the nose patch on just to look tough.
Yes. Just to look tough.
You just have to like constantly like just put a little bit of like makeup just to splotch his face up.
Yeah, make him look like he's getting in rough and tumble fights more often than he does.
At the end of the 2 weeks, as you were all having breakfast, perhaps, there's a piece of paper slipped under your door.
Love a piece of paper slipped under my door.
Whoever wants to pick it up and read it can.
Charlie would. I mean, it's his suite.
It's up in the
Adore.
Roll20.
Great. Oh my god. It's from Mickey. Yeah, I think Charlie would bring it over like as everybody's like having breakfast and like he's like probably like chewing on a piece of toast. He reads it. It doesn't have any like signature on it, right?
No.
Okay. He would read it out to the group. It says, "It almost had me" by Mickey Mahoney from a correspondent. Glasgow resident Mr. Alan McCann had an unwelcome encounter with a monster of darkness while making his way home last October. On hearing wails and cries, a police officer arrived to find Mr. McGann in distress and removed him to the local station, where he was able to give a statement. It was like turning suddenly, knowing something was there, only to find nothing. A nothing possessing hideous life. The dank smell of the fog was replaced by the foul stench of smoldering hair, which reached out and filled my lungs and made it hard to breathe. I began to choke. It meant to kill me. I couldn't see it, only feel its terrible fingers filling my mouth and nose. Readers visiting Scotland are advised to be cautious on nighttime rambles in the Glasgow area and to be on the lookout for invisible monsters down dark alleys. I think Charlie's like legitimately laughing at that last part. Be on the lookout for invisible monsters down dark alleys. That's funny. Yeah, he'll put it on the table after reading out that slip.
Yes, and you also have picked up with, I'm assuming, like Talion Gavigan and all of this, that he has slightly different plans today. I think it's the 17th, maybe? I think it's Saturday the 17th. It would give you a little under. So maybe it's Sunday, actually. We'll say Sunday the 18th. He has plans today. Isn't that nice for him?
What are they?
Yeah, I would love to tell you all about them. There is an exhibition in Wembley, which is in North London. I think you find this out a couple of ways. Obviously, whatever you've seen so far this morning indicates that his schedule is going to be slightly different. And I think you get, I think you get a phone call from someone who sounds like a Cockney girl with strawberry blonde hair and freckles, that just says British Empire Exhibition. and like hangs up right away.
Good God. Okay.
Those are all the things you have found out over the last 2 weeks. Which is a much more succinct way of going to bat than I thought.
So hi.
Hi.
This exhibition.
Yeah.
Gavigan's going to this, right?
Yes.
How long is it?
The exhibition...
Is this like an all-day?
Yes, it runs for like 13 hours a day.
But is he going to be there for 13 hours is my question,
I think he's heading there a little later in the day, so you still have time before then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know how long he will be there. You don't know how long he will be there. Nobody knows. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think after the call and everything, Charlie probably comes and sits back at the table with everybody. So I've made it pretty clear to all of you that I want to go back to that room at the foundation at some point, and this might be an opportunity to do that with Gavigan reliably away for, I would suspect, at least an hour, but hopefully much longer than that. What do you all think?
I'm quite curious myself to see what he might have hidden away there. I wonder, we might be able to extend his time away.
You think?
Ganymede looks at Zeb and just looks at him for a moment.
Ganymede?
Well, I'm just wondering if perhaps we might call upon your sister. They are friends. She is quite charming.
I mean, I'd rather not get her any more involved in this than she already is, but I'm not going to stop you from asking her.
I think, Zeb, it's important for you to be okay with her involvement. I mean, Gavigan could be the orchestrator behind a long string of murders, and that is reason to be concerned.
Exactly why I am concerned.
Yeah.
Yes.
It will be a public space. I'm wondering if there's maybe someone else we could call on just to keep an eye on things. I'm not saying that Annabelle can't handle herself. I'm sure she can, but Ganny, maybe your inspector friend might be interested in just making sure that Annabelle gets home safe.
Yes, that's a wonderful idea. A wonderful idea.
I'll feel a bit more comfortable if she has someone there watching her back, at the very least.
Yes. And if John is not available, then there's always Mr. Mahoney. He's good in a pinch.
Well, I mean, it depends on what Mahoney we're getting.
At the very least, he would extend the distraction.
I mean, at the very least, I think that he's the type that's just crazy enough to throw himself in the way of just about anything.
Yes. Precisely why I thought of him.
All right, then. As long as she's got backup, I'll agree to this. If there's no backup, then I'm gonna be mighty uncomfortable. But
Yes.
So the plan is to send Annabelle off to this place
Yeah.
with Mickey to watch, and no investigator is going.
Or John Craig, one of the two.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
If
that
he's willing.
Mickey is the backup plan.
Right.
Mickey is plan Z. It's make sure it's really just like have Annabelle go and like distract and make sure that Gavigan stays there for an extended period of time, or longer than he might otherwise. Maybe just like get him kind of drunk, like fun stuff, just like fun
Sure.
party things. But then have the inspector there just to keep an eye on Annabelle to make sure that like she doesn't get like taken away somewhere that she shouldn't be, right?
Yes, the NPC will definitely be on top of that. The
Yes.
plan while that's happening is to what?
Zeb wants to take Ginger Johnny out of the equation, so they need another driver.
I love this plan.
take him out of the equation, like frame him or like beat him up, like.
Well, that's Zeb's gonna ask the group what they think. Like, do we think we could get him out of the picture so that we can replace the driver with Zeb, potentially with Zeb?
True, but I don't think we need to do that today, right?
Not
Yeah,
on the
this-
same day as that necessarily. Just
'Cause-
sometime
'cause-
in the next week before the new moon.
Yeah, but that's assuming that we get in and out of the basement alive. Because that's what I'm thinking is like while Gavigan's gonna be away is gonna be like to go sneak down into the concrete bunker underneath the Penhew Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'll
what I
just-
want to do.
I'll just throw it out there. Irene can forge. She can forge papers and schedules, and as long as she has a sample of the writing, that's something she can do. So, like, we don't even have to take them out. Like, we can just be like, oh no, you don't have any shifts this week. How weird.
Yeah, I mean,
And instead
yeah.
schedule Deb in.
Yeah,
That's what I would propose.
yeah. I think that is easily doable, but just to clarify, as we approach the top of the hour here, the plan is to send Annabelle and John Craig to hang out. Well, obviously Craig is just watching, but to hang out with Edward Gavigan at the British Empire exhibition while the four of you break into the Penhew Foundation.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure.
Zeb will make it explicitly clear to Annabelle what their suspicions about Gavigan are. And that she needs to watch herself.
She will.
And maybe get Ganymede to give her a tiny gun.
Give Annabelle a
I
gun.
just carry around
So many
So
guns.
many guns. All right. Well, I guess we're going to pick up with this breaking and entering next time. I'm sure it will all be super duper
Good
fine.
decisions.
Let's go around and talk to everybody. Tell us where we can find you around the interwebs and all that good stuff. Let's start with Tommy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was that was legitimately so much fun. Just doing the narrative stakeout stuff. So much fun watching everyone's getting to interact with broader, I would say, information dumps, I suppose. So much fun. I had so much fun with I thought at the time, as we were doing this, wait, Zeb's gonna pose as a truck driver.
So good.
This could be so much fun. Oh, I had so much fun. That was a great episode, and I'm looking forward to next week because nothing will go wrong.
Good.
I am Tommy at Imperative Pengu on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG and video editing stuff across the interwebs. Although, as I've said before, not a lot of tabletop stuff going on until the new year. So, in the meantime, just go follow and watch all the stuff these peeps are in because they're amazing and they make awesome stuff.
Yay. Thank you, Tommy. Let's go up to Summer.
Yes, hello. Super, super fun. Got a lot of information. I'm really excited to do some more breaking and entering because that's what we're really good at. We're just we just love sneaking around places. I'm so stoked. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at just a summer job. That's where I tweet and retweet about everything that I've got going on. Just yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Just go follow me there. I do a lot of stuff.
Fantastic. Allie.
Ooh, I'm suddenly feeling less comfortable with this plan. We've got a whole week to work it out. Who knows? Who knows? Hey, everybody, it's Allie. I am at Allison Robinson on Twitter. Catch me there, or better, don't, because it's the time of year when Twitter kind of sucks. But that's every time of year. I don't know what I'm talking about today. I will see you all next week.
Key.
Took me a second to find the mute button. I was too busy typing. So, yeah. I'm Kienna. Find me over on Twitter at Kienna S. Best way to figure out I'm doing. I do TTRPG stuff across the internet. But I'm mostly just here on the channel, doing stuff as one half here. If you haven't heard already, we've got a podcast, Missing Annie Lee, that's in partnership with Off the Table. We've hit our funding goal, which is incredible, and we're 70% of the way to our stretch goals, where you can get super cool merch, and like, y'all, they're really cool. We can't show you yet, but they're really cool. So please, you'll hear my voice on that later, and just support it, because you'll get some really cool stuff out of that. What about you, Lauren?
What about me? Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger on Twitter, but I'm mostly here on the channel. I'm doing something later that I should probably look up the time for, right? It's like, I feel like it's 4 o'clock. I feel like at 4 o'clock I'm reading some Shakespeare with some folks over at What Streams May Come. That's not the Twitch channel, though. I know things. We're reading The Winter's Tale. I'm reading King Leontes for some reason. He's an asshole, so that should be fun. So I'm doing that and just working on editing with Summer and Renee from Missing Annie Lee. All of the tips today will be going toward that, as well as our Twitch payouts. So thank you everybody who has subbed, gifted, or just watched. Like, that means so much to us. Thank you for the raid from TBK Roleplay earlier. Hi everyone on YouTube. We love your comments. Hello. It always makes my day when I read something over there. Otherwise, thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, Dice Envy, and Grinding Coffee Co. We could not do this without you. If you ever miss an episode, you can check out the VODs. We put them up on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, where we announce when we're going live, if we're doing some different stuff. And otherwise, I think we'll see you next time. Yeah? All right. Wave bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.